All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 weeks of what most would consider absolute boredom, we finally have some good news, man. Sneak peek number 1 for the August update, update 8.3 is here. And it is confirmation of GORR the God Butcher finally being added to the game as a world boss legend. So we're going to check out sneak peek number 1 today. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the things that we absolutely need to see with this update for people to actually be on board with a new world boss legend, because just getting a new world boss legend in itself isn't going to be enough for most people. So as you can see right here, we have the August update sneak peek number 1. And we have the typical greetings from CM Fragment, and he's letting us know that the supervillain who has vowed to destroy all gods has come to challenge our agents himself. So instead of Jane Foster and Thor beating up on this guy endlessly in legendary battle, we're now going to be able to fight this guy in World Boss Legend with whatever characters we want. Hopefully the rewards are actually good. So right here, as you can see, it says a whole new threat. Will you be able to fight against this powerful supervillain who even bested the gods? So as you can see, they didn't really give us too much that's new. We basically just have the same stage taken from the legendary battle, and then we get to see GORR rise from the shadows, and he just does a slash. My guess is this is how he's going to spawn in when you challenge him in World Boss Legend. I am very excited to go up against him. However, like I said at the very beginning of this video, just adding GORR as a World Boss Legend isn't going to be enough for most players. We've seen them do this with Infinity Ultron, where they made the boss very difficult, and because of that, most people avoid fighting him because the rewards for Ultron is exactly the same as the rewards for fighting Null or Mephisto. So why would you want to spend more time for the exact same rewards? So we're going to have to talk about changes that they need to make to GORR's World Boss Legend stage in order to make it something that people want to go out of their way to play. Additionally, I know most of you guys are going to be wondering, will this guy be a playable character when the update drops next week? Honestly, we'll have to wait and see. However, in this trailer here, they did say costume inspired by Marvel Studios' Thor Love and Thunder. However, I do not know if this means he's going to be getting a uniform, essentially making him a playable character. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think they're going to add the base form of GORR to the game, so I don't think they're going to be giving him a uniform. So personally, I'm going to tell you guys, don't read too much into this costume inspired by Thor Love and Thunder thing. I think this is just a tag that they put for all of these movie uniforms or these movie related updates, just to let people know where the look for GORR is coming from. Now, assuming GORR is being added to the game as a playable character, I know some of you guys are going to be wondering immediately, will he be a tier 3 native like Mephisto, Null, and Sentry? Or, now that we're on to tier 4 characters, will GORR be a tier 4 native? I honestly think it is way too soon. There's not enough tier 3 natives in the game for them to start releasing tier 4 natives already. That's just my personal opinion on it. I would be shocked because it's already so expensive for you to get a tier 2 character, a character that is just natively a tier 1 that gets to tier 2 and then goes to tier 3. It's already really expensive to upgrade somebody like Thor, Storm, Iron Man, Moon Knight, etc. For them to implement a tier 4 character at this point, a tier 4 native character at this point, imagine how expensive that would be. It would cost players like maybe $600, $700, $800 just to tier 4, the level up a tier 4 native in terms of materials. Like, it wouldn't make sense, right? It would make them a lot of dollars, but a lot of people would be pissed off, even the whales, and rightfully so. I think it's way too early for them to bring in a tier 4 native. So my guess is he's going to be a tier 3 native that can get to tier 4. And even that might be pushing it personally. I think maybe they should make him really strong at tier 3 and just leave him at tier 3 for now and focus on these regular tier 1 characters and getting them to tier 4 and then come back to the tier 3 natives later on. Because honestly, I think trying to get a tier 3 native to tier 4 isn't something that I personally want to be doing right now. And I know most of you guys would feel the same. However, it really comes down to how impactful GORR is on the game. If he comes in and he's tier 4able, or a character that can get to tier 4, and then he's also really powerful for PvP, that changes everything. Because then he becomes an absolute must, which is part of what I'm scared of. There's a saying that says, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Anyways, let's move on. So I don't think I want a tier 4 GORR. I'll say tier 3 native. That's where he should go with the rest of them. I'd personally like him to come in as a combat character so we can have some diversity. We already have 2 universal tier 3 natives. We have 1 blast. I would like to see a combat and a speed, and I think he fits more along the lines of combat. That's just me personally. I know some of you guys, if you really like GORR, you'd want him to be universal so he has no weaknesses. But I think when it comes to bosses in World Boss Legend, we have enough universal bosses already. We need to see some more diversity, you know? That's just me. And if you really like Iron Man, you should be happy if they make him combat, because then you get to use your Iron Man even more. And personally, in my opinion right now, from the 4 tier 4s, Iron Man is the best one for any stage lower than 50 in World Boss Legend. Once you get higher, you kind of have to have Thor, Storm, and Moon Knight. But if you're playing anything less than stage 50, Iron Man, his versatility, being able to swap from villain to hero, is absolutely amazing. Be interesting to see what they're gonna do this time around when it comes to the restrictions or the limitations that they place on you for each of the stages. Next thing we gotta talk about, guys, is the rewards. We have to talk about the rewards, okay? Because this honestly needs to change. The first thing I need to see them do is I need them to go over here, and you see all of these Odin's blessings that they're just relegating to World Boss Ultimate, which only new players are playing World Boss Ultimate right now. They need to consider adding these Odin's blessings to World Boss Legend. If not to the older ones, at least consider adding them to the GORR fight. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Another thing that I need to see them consider doing here, guys, is actually making it so that the GORR fight doesn't drop Black Antimatter and Chaos Dome Stones. Instead, they increase the amount of Carbonadium, Life Seed, and if anything, please consider adding some Soul of the Faltines in here, you know, just a little bit. I would also like to see, again, some of y'all might not like this, but if they're gonna make GORR a level 4, since Ultron is level 3, Null is level 1, and then, you know, this guy right here is level 2. If they're gonna make GORR level 4, what they could do here is make it so that you can only use tier 3 and tier 4 characters in your team, and also as your strikers. So I know some of you guys are not gonna like this, but if they do that, it would actually give you some value out of all these characters that they're asking you to transcend and tier 3 and tier 4 every single month. They're dropping like what? 2 tier 3s, 3 transcended characters, and then 2 tier 4s. That's like 7 characters you're working on per update. That's crazy. What am I going to use them for? If they actually make it so that GORR requires tier 3 characters as strikers, like tier 3 or higher as strikers, and then increase the rewards to include tier 4 drops, and tier 4 drops being higher than they are against these other bosses, that would be really good if you ask me. And instead of guaranteed CCF, I would prefer guaranteed Carbonadium or guaranteed Life Seed. Maybe not Life Seed, but definitely guaranteed Carbonadium. I think Carbonadium is the bottleneck now for most people. Life Seed, we don't really need as much of it as we thought, or well, not that we thought, they changed it, right? So we don't need as much, but Carbonadium, I definitely think getting additional Carbonadium each day would be a good addition for GORR's World Boss Legend. Additionally, they need to finally update the special World Boss loot box, because I'm not sure if you guys notice it, but currently the CTP of Greed, the CTP of Insight, and the CTP of Judgment are not in here. So they need to update this box to include the newer CTPs. I have no idea why even now they have not gone back and done this. it definitely needs to be updated. They could add more premium cards in here, but the thing is, I think they should add more of the CTPs in here. Another thing that I would like to see is for GORR's World Boss Legend, instead of making it so he drops a specific CTP, if it dropped a random reforgeable CTP, I think that would actually be better, because more than likely, since destruction is already on Ultron, energy is on Null, and then Mephisto has regen, we only have one of two options. GORR can drop Judgment, which would fit the theme since it's Love and Thunder is an element, and the best CTP for elemental characters in most cases is a CTP of Judgment, right? It would make sense for GORR to actually be dropping a CTP of Judgment, but the next best thing, or the next other option, would be Authority. So if it's not Authority and it is Judgment, I'm fine with it. But if it's going to be Authority, which I think would be a shaft, and it would actually turn people off, you know, I would prefer it to be a random CTP if that's going to be the case. You guys let me know what you think. Additionally, this is like a big one, okay? They need to make it so that you have some kind of incentive to play past stage 20, right? For most players, once you get to stage 20 and you get access to this box right here, it drops all of the premium rewards. Frankly, I think they should take out these things here for GORR and then add in Carbonadium, Soul of the Faltine, and other tier 4 type materials, right? I don't think if you're fighting World Boss Legend, you should be getting the same type of rewards in these boxes that you're getting in World Boss Ultimate. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm just crazy, but it just doesn't make sense to me. So I think they should add in more tier 4 type materials or more premium rewards, better rewards for the harder difficulty, because more than likely GORR is going to be harder than Ultron. And if the rewards aren't there, people are not going to be fighting him. Same way how I would say about 80% of the player base, they don't play Ultron, right? You guys should actually go back and improve Ultron to drop better rewards than Null and Mephisto so that more people play them. And then you should also make sure that you increase the rewards and improve them rather, so that more people want to play whatever boss comes next, which in this case is going to be GORR. But what I was going to say here is, as you move up in stages, as the box changes colors, like for example, it's green here and it drops you trash rewards, you go up to 20, it drops you all the good rewards, right? As you go up, the box and the stuff inside it should improve past stage 20. Otherwise, what is the point? Additionally, as you move up, the amount of stuff you get when your drops pop off should improve. If not by like a large amount, I would say maybe 5 more Carbonadium, 5 more Live Seed, or whatever other materials you guys want to include in here. 5 more per 10 stages. Come on, guys. Come on. You know how hard it is to get to stage 50, bro? And you guys are dropping 2 tier 4s per month. It's going to take people like a really long time to get to the point where they can do stage 50 plus in World Boss Legend against GORR, because GORR is going to be scaled with tier 4 in mind. Unlike Ultron, who was designed, what, 6 months ago? Long before you guys probably were even done working on tier 4 and what the stats and the power level would actually be like. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I think some of these changes are absolutely necessary to ensure that the game mode doesn't feel like a copy paste of what we already have. Granted, it's going to be a new boss in a new environment with new patterns to learn, and that is good. But if the rewards aren't improved, just a new boss and a new environment is not going to be enough to keep people playing long term, because it's going to take you more time. What would you rather do? Spend 5 minutes beating Null and Mephisto 5 times, or spending 5 hours struggling to beat GORR for the same exact rewards?